And planning means, and let's talk a little bit about this, different things to different people. The one thing that I'm probably famous for saying this, and I'm going to ask you, and maybe you can call it out if you know. I always ask, what is the rate of death? What is it? 100%. Who said 100%? You're right. And a few people have said 100%, right? You are right. The rate of death is 100%. But I like to say it differently. The rate of death, yes, is 100%, but how I say it differently, the rate is 1 per person. You only get one chance to do it, so you can't mess it up. If you mess it up, what have you done? I don't know what happens when somebody's dead. But what happens is that the people that you've left behind, those people that you care about, that you love, that you wanted to protect for, you might have the wrong plan in place. And unfortunately, everybody has a plan. Everybody has a plan for where they want their stuff to, all their assets to go, their values, their business interests to go. But most of the time, the plan is up here. And that's not a good place for it to be when somebody dies. Because the plan will generally die along with them. And from being in this business for so many years, it's amazing how many calls I get. When I get a call from one of our advisors or financial planners, and they call me up and said, "Oh, Lori," and Lily gets these calls as well, "it was an unexpected death." And I'm thinking in my head, how can it be unexpected if the rate is 100%? It might just be bad timing. And things happen to people during times of tax law change. Things happen to people unexpectedly. And you as advocates for your clients need to go out there and make sure, disturb them, but don't disturb them to a point where they don't do anything. Disturb them, but motivate them that they need to take action. And they need to take action for those that they care about and the legacies that they want to leave behind. And a legacy does not have to just be if the client is affluent or super affluent. Their legacy is the people that they care about and the things that they want to do and how they want to be remembered. And that's pretty much what estate planning is making sure that what you have as your plan is going to be the plan that's in place whenever that unexpected moment happens. And really, when we're talking about estate planning means different things to different people. Estate planning is the accumulation of an estate, gathering up all the assets that you have. All the assets you have, and we're going to go into in a couple of slides later on what is in the estate. But it's not just the accumulation phase. It's then, really what it is the orderly distribution of the estate. Who do you want to get what, and when, and how? You know, I have my son, my oldest child is just turned 19, and even though he's an adult, if I would have handed him stuff, if something would have happened to either me or my husband, and he still just turned to an adult at 18, I wouldn't want to just hand over or have the assets handed over to him outright, because he might be making a decision. Well, assets here, college. Assets here, college, and he might be misguided by the wrong decision, thinking a certain amount of money might be enough to live on for the rest of his life. So you want to make sure that you can have those controls in place to make sure that the assets in your estate go in an orderly fashion. And one of the third parts of estate planning, and this is just in general, you can imagine all the different nuances around that, is passing the estate intact by providing for liquidity at the time of death. In your lives, both in the federal world that we live in and the state world that we live in, there's a lot of taxes that we pay. And estate taxes, even though they might kick in at a certain amount of money, a certain amount of the wealth of your estate, can do really harm to the assets in your estate. What estate taxes are basically a transfer tax. When there is an assessment done of what an estate is worth, depending upon what the credits might be at that time for federal estate taxation, might show that this estate will be charged a transfer tax or it might be small enough that it doesn't have to be assessed that. So really what estate taxes are, it's a transfer tax. It's a transfer tax before the assets in one's estate go to